There we go. So I can post this. And I have all the other classes recorded and downloaded. I just need to post them. Once you see what I did for our homework, you'll see what's been occupying my time. Copy, paste, new tab. All right, so that's where we stand with that. Has anybody got any of the interactive stuff done by chance? Was that you, Fallon? Did I see a hand?
I got, yes. And then I submitted it. It's in the drive.
Cool. How do you like it? How did it look?
It's pretty, I mean, it's looks pretty good. It's just basically I just did like pop prints for each of the majors, and then when you hover over it, it flips over and it gives you like the information for that major. So
really cool. Love it. Love it. Anybody else want to share? Tori, I think I saw your hand up.
Yeah, I just did. Mine was kind of like I feel like a simple design that kind of like spoke for itself. So I just kind of have the story like fade in the title, and like author name fade in too.
Sure.
Yeah, I
it
think
doesn't have to be anything like in your
right.
face. Just something to make it a nicer experience, something a little more interesting.
Yeah, and it's definitely like, I don't know, it's subtle, but it's nice.
Nice. Subtle is always nice, I think. I hate the stuff. All right. That said, you have a little bit of homework between now and Friday. I'm going to share my screen. I'm almost done putting everybody's unit up there. I think I stopped at, I'll have to look where I stopped. I don't remember. Just because I ran out of time, but I have an idea. We're going to try this. This may not work. It works well for my girlfriend's 4th grade science class. So it might work well for us. We're going to give it a try. Anybody ever try Flipgrid? Anyone know what Flipgrid is? All right. Well, I'm going to show you. I'm going to share my screen. And Flipgrid is a way of making short little commercials with a time limit that you can then pose, and then somebody can review your work and they can see what you had to say. I think for me, at least, when I give feedback on a design, I give much more complete feedback if I do it on video. Like if I had to type everything I was going to say, I probably wouldn't say it all. And I think hopefully this will get you guys to be much more flow, into the flow of giving feedback instead of clickety click click. We're going to see how it works. All right, so I'm showing you Zoom and you don't want to see Zoom. I'm going to show you Flipgrid. So I have, I'm going to go ahead and just show you one that I made. So I got to Shannon. I think that was the last one I did. Yes, I'm doing these. So I'm going to go to one that's a test one. And let me untest this so you can see this interface. Everyone can see my screen, yes? All right. Let me make this active so you can see. And when you click the link, I've made a link for each and every one of you. And then each and every one of you can click each other's links, right? So you can give everybody in the class feedback. I've limited your feedback to 90 seconds, but you can make it less, right? If you don't feel like you have to fill the 90 seconds, I just thought that if you got 90 seconds worth of feedback from 14 different people, that's like a long time. That's like a half hour. And that's a lot of feedback for you to get on your critique designs. So I wanted to walk you through this. So you'll see that you'll have this and it'll be for you. So each person has one with their name on it. I just did this as a generic test. And it tells you to build up, to do a quick critique. And then there's a join code. And once you click the join code, it's going to allow me to come in here. And you got to do it with your Butler account, okay? You got to get in with your at butler.edu. I don't care if it's your Google version of it or the Butler version of it. But then you come to this, right? Please create, so here's the feedback. Please create a video feedback of each of your peers' thumbnail sketches. Really talk about the ideas you like, okay? There's no point in poo-pooing somebody's work that you think you just don't like, but just amplify, I really like this idea and here's why, okay? Now you can do it a couple of ways. I've realized that you can talk about it. I like the third one on the third page and the first line, or you can share your screen. So if you want to be looking at them while you do this, that's how I would do it. I would just navigate to the page where with their critiques on it once I started this, but I can record a response. So move this silly thing out of my way. So you click the big record button, it's giant. And you're gonna see I have some options here. So step one, I have 1 minute to record this. You guys will have 90 seconds, I believe is what I gave you guys. But I can record the screen as well. So I could hit record screen, click over to Canvas, and then talk about the specific one, right? I could talk about the specific thumbnail sketch I like. I really like the one on this page. It looks great. I like the way the C hooks into the G, and it kind of looks like a Gucci, but backwards, whatever you're going to say. I don't know. And then when you're done with that, you go back to your Flipgrid tab. Oops, I didn't start the screen recording. So I'm going to start the screen recording. It's going to ask me which one. The first time you do this, it's going to make you give permission so that Flipgrid can record your screen. So Google can record your screen, actually, is what it asked me. And then I can do the entire screen, an application window, or my Chrome tab. And I'm just going to do my entire screen and do that. And then you hit share. And I have a countdown now, and now I'm recording. So now I can change to this screen here. If this was, let's say, the thumbnails, right? There you go. If it was that, you could talk about it, blah, blah, blah. You'd have it up already. You could talk about which designs you like. Ooh, I really like this one or this one or this one or this one or this one. And then when you're done, you can go back to that. Oops, wherever I was. Here it is, the one recording. It's got a little red dot. I can hit stop now, and now I'm recording. So now I can change to this screen here. And clearly it pays it back to you right away. All right. I could take a selfie. I think I got a selfie. There we go. And I hit next. And there it is. So then you submit your video. You don't have to put anything in here. I don't care, because each person has their own little area, and I can sort these by each person's individual link. You submit it, ta-da, we have fireworks going off. And then you can go back and look at what everybody else shared too. So you can see what everybody else has shared. I'm gonna stop this share. And I'm gonna ask you guys, you think that looks like an interesting way of doing things? I think it's worth a try. I think if nothing else, I know that I give better critique orally through my mouth than through writing, especially if we're talking about design, right? It's hard to talk about how you like a certain curve or how a certain negative space makes something if it's just typed out. So I think it'll be easier. We're gonna give that a try. Anyhow, to go through everybody's stuff, if you give everybody a minute, there's 15-minute people in this class, I think. Maybe 16 or 17. It'll take you that many minutes, maybe a few more. So maybe less than an hour to do all of this. I think that seems pretty reasonable, right? Okay, cool. Questions so far? And then on Tuesday, this will give me an opportunity to go through all of your stuff if you get them done by Friday at midnight. This gives me an opportunity over the weekend to review what everybody said and give my 2 cents worth in there as well. And you can have feedback you can start acting on, because there's no need to stop working. Are you okay, Alex? That wasn't for me, was it?
Okay. No, I'm good.
Okay, cool. When I say see something, I'm always wondering. Oh, it's you in your neck. I get it. I get it. Okay.
Cracking my neck.
All right. And so the last thing I have, and I'm going to give this to everybody because everybody has, I'm going to give you notes on what I saw design wise. I didn't give them to you when I first looked at it because I like to spend time, especially if it's a document, right? I like to spend time with it and feel it in my hands. I did. And I left it on my couch. I didn't realize that till I was on campus. I was like, but I have the notes in my head and I'm totally going to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and go over to Adobe Acrobat and open that and then share that screen with you and share some notes. And I am recording this, so I will, am I on the right one? Yes. I will post this right when we get it down off the web. But I thought it was important to share notes on all of this. All right. And all right. So on the cover, I'm really fond of the cover. By the way, oh, I'm not sharing with you, am I? Son of a moose. Here we go. Hold on. Let me share. Let me share. There we go. Now you're sharing. I really like the cover, and the dean loves the look and feel of the magazine as a whole. As a general comment, the first comment I got back from Rademacher was, the dean loves the look and feel. She's got some notes. She's going to put them in your mailbox. Haven't been up to my mailbox today. Not that I would have had time to read them because I literally got to campus right before class. But I have notes. So the cover, I like the cover. I like the illustration. However, let's talk about this for a second. Nothing is united. So blue 3, blue 4, blue quad, whatever his name is, the dog has this barrier. He has this safety shield behind him, and nothing dares approach, right? Everything is scattered and arranged in a balanced way, which I like, but there's no unity in any of this. Nothing overlaps. The closest thing we have to unity is the wolf over the, I'm guessing these splotches, these spots that, and I wish Lucy was here, that are in here. Again, I'm guessing they were to resemble the splotches on the dog. If anybody else has a better take on that, chime in, because I don't know. But I really feel that there needs to be something that makes this feel like a magazine. Right now, it could be a poster. Oh, and let me make a general note. And if you're just a sophomore or junior here, this will help you along the lines, but it's one of Rademacher's pet peeves. We are in the College of Communication, not plural, communications. And that's for some reason a trigger point for Dr. Rademacher and even Dr. Campbell, not as much, but both of them. And yeah, all the professors, I mean, all the tenured ones, I think us lecturers, you know, or like whatever. But that needs to be fixed. So it's communication as a Butler Bulldog, because that makes more sense since we are a College of Communication, singular. What would I suggest if I had a suggestion? Like the Rolling Stone ad thing that we did. Remember that assignment? Everybody's done it. What if a wolf, and I'm throwing a what if, it could be anything. And I know this is recorded. I know that Lucy did this and Lucy will see this later. But what if wolf was big along the back and then he was in front of it, kind of, right? We've seen that 1,000 times on every Sports Illustrated / Rolling Stone / whatever magazine, right? Where the person standing in front of the actual masthead or the logo type of the publication. That's one idea. Another idea could be giving the dog somewhere to be. Maybe he's on a faded basketball court and there's a faded, blurry basketball net and it's Hinkle. I don't know. I'm not sure what the solution is, but I feel that this could be more unified. And I'm giving these notes out of love, just so you guys know, all right? On the inside page here, I like this. And again, I think we're missing just an element and I'm not sure what you might do. But right now, when you look at this spread, interesting. And maybe Lucy was planning to do something a little different. But right now, when I look at it, it just feels like neatly arranged elements on a page, like deliberately placed as in, but there's no guiding grid system. There's no guiding anything to cue us to the verticality of all of these elements. One thing that could be done, and I see the echo of it, if each one of these letters had or each one of these numbers had a little line next to it, a little folio line, like over on 26, I think it would add that vertical line that we're needing to help everything feel like it's aligned and organized neatly. We're missing a little verticality in this that draws me from one to another and keeps me from going one across, right? How else could you do this? There could be a shaded box. There could be just a line in between the columns. There's 1,000 million ways of organizing this to make it more interesting. And then we have this kind of gulf where we go into the gutter or where the fold is, I guess we call it the gutter. But that space just feels a little weird. And I'm wondering, and I'll leave it to you guys as a decision to make, if we're going to present it in spreads, do we want to do that little trick where you put a little gradation on that spread to make it look like it's an actual page that's turned over so we can see it's 2 pages? I'll let you guys think on that one. I think that might solve a lot of the problems on this particular page and this page as well. All right, I'm concerned on this page that we're not going to get the rest of the pictures. And we can, I guess, do that, right? You can find some clever way. Maybe there's a little bulldog inside of each pictures, a little, you know, illustration of that dog, or maybe it's the actual dogs from the article. Pick a dog to represent you, right? But I'm really concerned that we're not going to have something. Now, this one feels more organized because the elements have vertical lines to them. And so we can feel the lining up of them. It still feels a little naked though. Again, whether it's a thin, transparent, gradated kind of little line somewhere on here, we need something to kind of organize these columns and make them feel organized on the page. And for some reason, and someone's going to check this, maybe Lucy, these two columns feel closer together than these two columns. And maybe this is further in this way from the edge of the page. So that's something to be looked at. Again, I was just going over it all. All right, our story. Love the story. Wasn't expecting a shout out. Hello. And thank you. You know, I'm just doing my job. I'm just doing what I think is best for Butler because I love this place. All right. I will not talk about myself this entire time. I think that we could have found a more interesting solution here than the boxes. You know how I feel about boxes, folks. And I understand why you did it, but I start to wonder, instead of a box, what if we had a gradient here? Now we have this, I'm going to call it a sand color that is kind of unique to many of the pages. It's kind of the branding, right? It comes off the cover and it's carried through the publication in various places. What if this was a gradation from green to sand? I'm going to throw that out there. I think there's a better way to do this. Another what if, right? We got these crazy, I'm not even sure how to refer to them, these crazy swoopy graphic elements. You know, what if this ended in the grass ended in a swoopy graphic element, and then it was the beige or white or something, right? We're going to get to beige in a minute. I'm going to talk about beige here. But I feel that there's a better solution for the bottom of that page, because what ends up happening is we have two boxes that feel very disconnected, and maybe putting that little fake fold over gradient onto the right-hand pages will make it feel more like an actual publication, and I won't have that feeling, but I'm not a fan of the boxes. All right. I love these articles, and I love, so we have some things in general in the documentary, in the magazine, that I'm going to talk about as a whole here. Who did the graphics for this one? Is it somebody here? Like, I'm wondering where these things came from. Anybody know? No? Henry, Tori, any idea? Is this on?
I don't know who it was. I'm wondering if it was Lucy.
Okay. Yeah, so what I want to make sure is that if we're going to pull from something, there's plenty of old maps that are in the public domain. You know what I mean? Make sure we pull from something that's in the public domain. I would hate for Butler to get in any even remote negative trouble, you know what I mean, for us using something even derivatively by someone who has a copyright. And there's tons of old stuff that, you know, maps of Italy, I'm sure they're in the public domain, stuff from the 1500s, 1700s. I'm guessing this is, I just wanted to verify that just to cover our butts. Okay. So here's my first little thing I want to mention as a whole. I think when you're consuming this article, I can't tell that it stopped here because the color of the pages are so consistent, and it happens to me a few times in this. So I think while I get the idea of wanting to have this theme of the sand color tie everything together, it becomes confusing at points. So it's really hard to tell where this article ends and then that this is a new one. And I'm going to go ahead and just keep going through this. So this, I can tell this is a whole different article here, right? And I can tell this is a different one because we have the contrast playing back and forth and back and forth. I'm not saying we need to ping pong and just be predictable, but we should explore other backgrounds perhaps. I love this one. To me, this is the most successful. I don't know who designed it, but it's the most successful overall use of the sand color. I like the textures that are introduced. I like the elements that are introduced here as well. It's all really well done, and this has a certain flavor of completeness to it. I'll be honest with you. I'm not a huge fan of tons of text, only because I'm not a huge fan of reading tons of text. This still works for me. I think that there's enough visually entertaining about the page that I wouldn't feel like it was a lot. It's very basketball, very topical, and I like it. All right. A couple of things are inconsistent throughout the document. And here we can tell it's a completely different article, right? And I like that. A note on this, and I think we're going to get a note from the dean on this after I read it. We're only talking to 2 StratCom students, and it would be great to get somebody from any other program. My fear is because we are StratCom students doing this, that other people in the college are going to feel like they were somehow left out. So perhaps we could find another person who transferred over, maybe not into StratCom, but maybe into OrgCom, or maybe into journalism or sports media. Any one of those. I just want to feel if there's balance, because honestly, even though every professor is an adult by their driver's license, they sometimes will make a scene like a child if they feel underrepresented, or if they feel like somebody's taking advantage of them. And I don't want anybody anywhere to feel like we, StratCom, is somehow taking over the college thing, you know, publication. So it would just be nice just to throw in, and if it has to go to another page or 2, let's do it. I like the way it's presented, but it would be really neat just to have a couple of more voices that were outside of StratCom. I have a feeling we're going to get a note from the dean. I love the switching to CCOM thing because it feels like a postcard. I'm not sure who did this, if it was Corinne or what, but it feels like that welcome to Florida or welcome to Hollywood kind of a postcard where the image is inside the letters, and it's got a fun feel to it. Yeah, I'm not real fond of this dark color, but I'm guessing it's one of Butler's ugly dark colors. And you know how I feel about Butler? Their brand is, yeah, exactly. All right. So I felt that about, this was like a complete article. I have the headline. I can tell it's not a continuation of this, right? And maybe just changing page order can solve some of this. I'm going to let you guys solve this because I want this to be your magazine, not mine, but I want to give you my 2 cents worth. All right, College of Communication. And I think there could be a better intro to this, because nowhere does it say programs of study. And you know what I mean? Or maybe it needs to say, instead of College of Communication, maybe it should say majors in CCOM, which is a little more descriptive of what people are looking at. Because coming from this to this, it almost feels like this could be an extension of this, and this doesn't feel like it's, I guess, contextualized in some way. And I think naming the different programs in CCOM could be really cool. If we wanted to make this a bigger spread, I don't know if we have the time or energy to want to do that. You know, we could include another page, push this out to 3 or 4 pages, and include some little call outs, quotes from majors, right? Creative media, entertainment majors, they're going to have stuff. I love the fact that I was able to produce, starting with my first class. That's how they hook them over there. You know, maybe that's something we want to share with high school students, that you get to do that. You get to start, get your hands on a camera, your very first class over there in CME. Or sports media, right? That's the same thing. Your first class, I think you're actually taking video and stuff. So we might want to mention, I'm just throwing these things out there. And that would allow the paw prints to be bigger. So I like the images inside of all of them, but when I look at this at 100%, it's not entirely clear all the time what we're seeing. And I think that just bigger is better. So that's a thought. All right. And then we jump into a bright blue future. And this one doesn't have a byline. And there's a couple of things, there's inconsistency. So bylines, you know, this is by somebody, have been treated differently from page to page. This is by Eric Young, but if I go to the one before it, it is just Tori Dennis. It's not by Tori Dennis. I'd also like to see wherever somebody does a graphic, let's give them credit because not everybody, you know what I mean? So I would like a little bit of tiny 8-point, 9-point, no bigger than 10-point type, maybe Helvetica thin. Just crediting everybody, right? Like you would in a photo, a caption, a little tiny, keep them consistent where you're placing them or not, but make them that they're there so that everybody feels like, because someone wrote the article and maybe Tori did do this, do everything. It would be nice to know who did this layout here, right? And it was probably Tori. And if you did everything, then you could just leave your name, right? But if somebody else did part of it, what I'm trying to do is get the graphic artists who whose names aren't on the article. I would love to get them the credit for the work they did. That's really my goal in bringing that up. All right, so we have bylines that are a little different. A bright blue future, and this is probably all changing up, or maybe this is the thing. I haven't reread this article, I'll be honest with you. And it's missing some stuff. I'll wait till I get through these in a moment. So once upon a time in Spain, I wish it was as fun as the sabbatical or even, yeah, the sabbatical one. We haven't gotten to the sabbatical yet, have we? No, we're going to. So the sabbatical one has these wonderful little graphics that really embellish the page and make it interesting to look at. And I love that. I love the fact that this is like, boom, well organized. On this topic, before I jump back, perhaps these are high school kids. Perhaps we should define what a sabbatical is. Maybe just a little graphic, infographic, right? Definition of sabbatical. I know that I didn't know one until I got to college, and then someone said their favorite professor was on sabbatical, and I said, what the hell is that? And then they explained it to me that it's like a working vacation. You're supposed to work, but you're not gonna go to work. I think that a definition would be good to make this more interesting, right? And yeah, and you should make a note that it's not just Butler faculty, it's Butler tenured faculty. This dude will never have a sabbatical, nor will Norris, nor will any other junior faculty. We're junior faculty because we don't have tenure. We can be fired at any time. I love the way this is treated. Whoever did this, it's a bang up out of the job, out of the park, right? The problem is I get to the next page, and even though it's entirely different, the color of the paper makes me feel like it's a continuation of the same article. Like it takes a second for it to set in. So I'm feeling, this is where I'm talking about the page colors, right? Kind of helping us delineate the borders of the articles, if that makes any sense.
I have a question.
Yeah.
This is just, I just realized this, but I don't know who found the photos for this article, but I wrote it. And it's not about like any internship. If you read the article, it's only about the CCOM internship program. So, and just because the photos don't really relate at all to the story. Because like CCOM like has like a team of interns that are doing work for
Oh, so it's about,
that's what the article is about.
Yeah, I asked Professor Bridge for pictures of them, and he gave me these. So I'm assuming that they don't actually have any like real-time pictures of what they're doing.
I almost think
to get pictures of what you're talking about because I applied for the internship, so I have a contact with that.
Yeah, I did the internship, so I could always ask like Erin if she has photos. like,
Aaron
pictures she
Ernest
want us
has
to use.
lots of photos.
I could always ask her if she has pictures she wants us to use, but I didn't know if we'd want to use like pictures or graphics, but I know we can't use those pictures.
Right, that makes sense. Yeah, that totally makes sense. These are internal, not external internships. I
Right.
totally get it. Yeah.
Um,
So I had suggested at some point, Molly, I think in a note, or we were talking face to face, I don't remember, about maybe doing graphics, right? Maybe a word cloud of all the skills or all the different things you might be doing, activities you might be doing. I don't know what's going to be interesting to you guys. Maybe some kind of diagram of how you're using your skills, a Venn diagram with the overlapping circles showing I use these skills, and these skills for this internship. I don't know. Imagination. Use your imagination. But thank you, Tori, for clearing that up. I love the transition to this article here. You know why? Because I can tell instantly that I'm in a new article. I'm like, woohoo, something different. So I think that whenever we have pages back to back, articles back to back, we should make sure that there is some kind of visual cue that we're leaving one thing and getting to another. Or at the end of every article, maybe you've seen this in magazines. In some magazines, they just put a little box or a little dot at the end of every article so that you know you've reached the end of the text. Anyone seen that before? You probably have. Maybe we have a little icon that we throw at the end of every article to help that. I still think if you're flipping through this quickly, especially online, it's going to feel like you're going into the same exact thing, just a different version of it. Or when we go to Doug over here, and I'm going to go back to Doug, you can definitely tell that it's something different. So this one here, it's about studying abroad, but it doesn't feel fun. I guess that's the first thing I felt when I saw this. I really feel that her sabbatical looks more fun just in the way it's presented. So I'm wondering if there's a less formal way. And let me tell you why it feels so formal. And perfect vertical and horizontal lines are very prim and proper, and they remind us of things that are very structured and very serious. So this has a more serious feel, I want to say, because of these graphics and because everything is so perfectly in line, kind of thing. But it just feels very structured. I'm wondering if we could do something like, one thing I haven't seen in this document at all is a single pull quote. And that's a great way to take a big block of text and liven it up, right? Yeah, I had a great time without thinking twice at restaurant campus over the next gathering, whatever. I'm not sure. I read the article once and I don't remember what it says, but I hear somebody a-coming. So I don my mask. All right.
I feel like we should have a picture of him in there too. There's not a single picture of him actually there.
Right. I will reach out to him again through LinkedIn. That's the only way I've really been able to keep a hold of the guy. He's working for Patch, which is local news online. They got an app. It's actually kind of cool. I downloaded it. But there is a picture of him on LinkedIn, and I will let him know that if he wants a different picture, to provide one for us. I agree, though. I agree that a picture of him maybe having fun, right? Not like a against the wall mugshot, but like activity, maybe, right? Is that what you were thinking?
Yeah, I just think in general, I mean, these pictures, I look at them and I'm not like, oh, I could have bet that these could have been Googled and just put in there and that he didn't take them because there's no picture of him there. You know what I mean? Gotcha. I'm not saying that he did do that, but I'm saying, like, you know.
All right, I will press him for some more interesting, perhaps more personal photos. Because we are talking about studying abroad, so there should be a picture of him and some Spanish friends, right? And here are my 3 new best friends in Spain and Barcelona. So yeah, I think you're right. I think that it's lacking a little bit of personality. And I don't mean personality like personality, I mean like intimacy with the person, or a little bit of getting to know the person. Does that make sense?
I'm also not sure if any of those pictures are from Spain.
They all are. If they're the ones that I posted to the drive, they all are.
Like, I mean, I know that one's Budapest, the other one's Prague.
Oh, okay. So Thank you, Haley. You could have made us look really dumb. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so I posted 5 pictures that I took off of his website, his portfolio, and I posted them into, I want to say they're on the drive. Now it's possible I hallucinated doing that because anything's possible, but I don't think I did. I'm pretty sure I downloaded them and I uploaded them to the drive, and I even named them for what I knew what they were. If there was a name like Seville or something associated with it, I would have posted that as well. But there should be 5 images, and here are 5 images, right? So maybe we can get them to work, but we need to revisit that. All right, I was going to jump down here, and I wanted to jump down here. One of the things I love about this, the reason I really think this, when I got to this point, it made me realize something about this entire document. And that is, we were very rigid, almost too rigid, and sticking to fonts. So if you look, we're very, very consistent in using the font. I forget what it's called. But here it is. It appears here, and then it appears here, and it appears here. And I'm going to jump back to the past one here in a second. Actually, I'm going to jump back all of these. I kind of skipped. I'm not sure why it says past twice. I think history of CCOM should be, or history. Maybe history and then of CCOM big and then 1 past would be more apropos. It's just 2 past. I like the layered effect. That's really interesting with the transparency. I like that.
It's supposed to be present, but this we mess up the body copy somewhere throughout the process. So we want to fix that story. So it's supposed to say present.
Past and present. I gotcha. You can see my confusion. Totally. Okay, that makes more sense. Again, the page color thing, though, I think we want to think about it. Just come up with a slightly different hue, right? Just a tint of that same sand color, and you're done. Add a texture to it. You're done. Just differentiate it a little bit. But I think we can get a little more freedom. My point being is that I think that we could be a little more liberally free with trying other fonts. Like, to me, this X is what really makes this fun. This is what makes this fun. It gives it personality, right? And then this is, again, this is like lockstep into our following orders, sir, following orders, sir. And then you get to software, and it's just fun. It feels like tarot cards. It feels like I'm going to get my fortune read. And this is a cool graphic. You know what I mean? It's very unlike all the other stuff. So I guess what I'm saying is, don't feel like you're locked into it all the time. If you feel like something more splashy will make the page interesting, we're trying to keep high school kids interested in this, reading this and going through it. So I get it, and I like having everything really consistent, especially throughout the magazine, the body copy, the pull quotes. There is a pull quote. I take it back. I said there were none. I was wrong. About the 3rd time today. But I feel that this really feels fun. Okay, on this here, this jagginess feels like a mistake. I don't know that it is a mistake, but all of this stair step jagginess, I think we should chill on that. I think we should, all of this feels very pixelated. The jagginess screams pixelization. You go to 100% view. Hold on, I gotta move this silly bar. I'm almost at 100% view. Okay, close. There we are at 100%. So I don't know what happened, Henry. Maybe the picture got broken and this is the placeholder picture. That's what me thinks at this point. But yeah, this shouldn't be this pixelated. And I don't think anybody made this pixelated. I don't think you can pixelate it this way in Illustrator if you wanted to. So I'm thinking that that picture got lost and it's somewhere and it just needs to be relinked.
Yeah, I did this layout and I gave it to Lucy. So it might have like gotten, because the other ones look fine. So it might have just been like messed up. So if she can just easily like bring the picture on her end, it probably will look better for that front.
Absolutely, absolutely. And thank you all for bearing through all of this, but I think it's important for everyone to hear it. And I think this is my last critique, and it's not a big one. None of these have been really big. Hopefully you're not taking these personally, because don't ever take critique personally when you're doing a product for somebody else. think of it this way. You're making not art, not for art's sake. You're making art to make money, or in this case, to make the dean happy, to get a good grade, and to make a great product for your portfolio. But don't ever take any of this personally, because it's not, it's a part of the business. Here's my note on this. And I love this layout. It feels so much fun. I'm guessing the person authors, your name is going to go here, I'm guessing, or whoever wrote the copy. And again, give people credit for the layout, right? So if somebody wrote the copy, maybe, and you all, the creative can think about this. Maybe you want to put, you know, copy by, illustrations by, story by, illustration by, right? So that, again, I want everybody who does something for this to have something they can point at with their name on it. I think it's important. I think it's important. All right. So in here, I think that Evan and the dog could be just a little bigger because we have this little bit of space. I think that would be nice if there was less of it. I don't know how much bigger, maybe 10%. But I think Evan's head could come closer to here, and then they could both come over a little bit. Just a thought. You can try it. Again, these are just suggestions. And here's the note on this entire spread, which I love this spread. So what you did this, Henry. It feels very whimsical, and I love the fact that you took those irrational shapes from the very beginning of the magazine, and you brought them back in, right? So you created this callback, if you would. Here's my note. I know I've been hinting at it. Each one of these three people are handled differently. Here is Jennifer, class of 2000, with her photo. Something happened to her shoulder. I think that we need to shuffle some pieces there.
Well, I guess while we have this downtime, we might as well use it. So if you guys haven't already submitted your headshot to the folder, please do so, so we can put those all in. I'm probably gonna try to meet with Lucy a couple times over this week till Tuesday to clear up the rest of the things. So if you haven't uploaded your headshot, please do so.
I have a question.
Yeah, go for
I
it.
uploaded mine, but it's not like in the book. But I uploaded it like a few days ago, so I don't know if you can see it or not, or like if Lucy just hasn't done it yet.
We might, and it might not have been updated by the time you put it in there. I'm not sure.
Okay, I was one of the first people to do it, so I just wasn't sure.
Yeah, it could have just been maybe lost in the several things. So I see it in there, so we'll go through the folder again, and we'll check people we don't have. And then if you guys want to like give us like a specific on your major / graduation date, so we can put that in. I'll try to create like a document for you just to throw that information in into that folder. Super easy. And there are a few things that we're missing story-wise, and we need like a few more things that we have in the red. The biggest thing would be the bright blue story. So I don't know who originally had that.
Yeah, it's been in the Google Drive thing since Monday. The entirely finished, updated, completed thing
Oh, has it?
Yeah, it has.
Oh, here we go. Look at that. Oh, that's nice. Okay, never mind then. That's good. That looks awesome. Let me pull up the magazine again. So then since we have that, and the bright blue's done, the only thing we would need is, I'm not sure if we're doing the quiz the extra. If not, then we don't need anything, obviously. I don't know who was taking over that. So if someone was,
I thought it was either Annalisa or maybe Shannon. Who was that? I don't remember who.
I didn't do it, but I could work on it if nobody.
Somebody, I forget.
I think Elisa is, because she like sent me it for like feedback.
Okay, my recollection isn't all bad.
Yeah, so if you want to follow up with her and get that completed, that'd be great. We can also follow up as well.
Yeah.
And I know we have a bunch of pictures on there for the safe spaces for COVID. I don't know if we.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing like an image tracing, because a lot of it is like nature scenes, and it's not necessarily like the most exciting thing to just keep in like a photo format. But
Yeah, I don't know if we had like, because I think the magazine shows or talks about places that. No, it doesn't actually. Just kidding. Yeah, so if you.
Go ahead, Henry. I'm sorry.
If you want to do an image trace, that would be good. And we can do both pictures or image traces, or if you want to do multiple image traces for the thing and make it because you can see this the most updated copy that we were looking at is in the drive. So if you want to do like the 3 different places, or like throw in like 5 total, whatever you want to do, that would be great.
yeah, I'll look at the format again and the layout and
Sure.
do something that looks good.
Are there photos of those photos for the places? Do those have people in them?
A couple of them do, yeah, but one of them doesn't.
Or show somebody studying there so you can imagine yourself studying there.
Yeah, like I got a picture of like a girl sitting by a tree in Holcomb and like a couple walking, whatever.
Nice. Yeah, that's important. Whenever you're showing images to people for advertising, you want to show people in a situation so people can put themselves, imagination. Oh, look, I'm sitting in the woods studying at Butler. I want to go there. Yeah, excellent. So before my computer it didn't, no warning at all, and I should have been watching the meter. It's my laptop, I just used all the juice, so sadly. That's why I had to leave for a moment. But my point, Henry, at the very last thing, and I can't share of this thing, so I'm not gonna take the time to find it on this computer, is that each one of those people, the graphics for them are handled slightly differently 3 different times. So we just wanna make sure that we're consistent so that it doesn't feel like 3 different people made it, but we're presenting the same information consistently. And once you see that, you'll see it. So that was my last note.
Yeah, and then Haley, did you or Lucy ever discuss who was going to do like kind of the intro for the software part, or were you potentially working on that, or was there anything done in that?
Well, I wasn't here because I was out of town for the class earlier this week, so I had no idea we were even intending on doing an intro part for it, but I can do it. But just what are you guys wanting me to do for it?
I don't know offhand, since she was the one who did the structuring for this. So if I had to guess, it would just be like the intro to like what it's about. Just like so if we look at the thing, it would just be like, if you're interested in these aspects, these are the programs that you would be using, or if you decide to become a CCOM major, here's some of like the classes / programs you'll be using in those. Some kind of mixture of both of those, if I had to guess. But I can talk to Lucy and have her maybe send you an email for like a more specific, like for a better idea.
Yeah.
I have a suggestion on that. Just because not every major in CCOM is going to be using technology. I think of the lab people with the speech impediments, CSD, communication science disorders. I also think of the people like doing the women's studies kind of stuff, or whatever we call that, critical communication media, CCM maybe, I think the major is called last year. They've changed it like 4 times since I've been here, 3 times since I've been in public. I don't think they have a lot of software that they use necessarily. So I think you want to present it as there are a lot of opportunities in the College of Communication to have majors that use the latest technology. You know what I mean? And then that kind of situates what you're talking about. Is that every major? However, like OrgCom, they have a technical requirement where they have to take some kind of technical class with some kind of software. So some majors require it and some don't.
So I could write an intro and then just kind of put it in the, I can just do it like on a simple Word doc, whatever, and then put it into the drive and then you guys can format it however you are thinking. And obviously when you and Lucy talk, you'll know better, but I can put something into the drive for it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be great.
Okay.
So I just put a Excel sheet into the headshot folder. So either right now or after class, if you can all go in and put your name, majors, or whatever you're doing and your graduation year. So if it's May, if it's December, if you're already graduated, who knows? Just throw it in there and we can update that. And obviously throw in the headshot as well. So we can make sure we get that. And I will probably send some emails out if we don't have that. So check your email, please. Yeah, but otherwise, if we can have, if the people whose articles were mentioned today, make sure, just maybe look over, maybe if they have any ideas they want to send us for us to do outside of changing some stuff up, then it should be pretty easy to get the rest of the stuff.
One random question, Pellerano. For the flip grids, we're doing one for each person, right? Just to clarify. Yeah. Okay, that's what I
If
thought.
it takes you 30 seconds just to say, I like this one, the rest suck.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but I just want to make sure.
And you can type it too. You don't have to do video. I just wanted to give you that option. But this way, the person has their own link and they're going to have all of their own feedback under their own link. Make sense?
Yeah.
But when you go there, you'll have like a whole little menu of things you can watch or read. Again, I'm just trying new technology to see if I can make this a little more interactive, unless I hate typing. I don't know about the rest of you, but like I say and talk so much faster and think so much faster that I can actually make my fingers move. But that's me. I am dealing with adult ADD. You haven't noticed. Anybody else? So y'all feeling really good? I'm feeling really good about this, and hopefully y'all took the feedback as positive feedback, because 95% of it's like there and great, fantastic. Just needs to be a little squishing, and this is what you're going to get when you get to the real world, right? You're going to get feedback as you work on things, and things just start to evolve. We are so close. Henry, Tori, there are going to be textual changes, any kind of notes I'm getting from the other people. I will share those as I get them, so you're not like all flooded. I'm going to walk upstairs after this and go to the dean's office and see if there's something in my mailbox. I would be surprised to have them that fast, since you just got it yesterday morning. Yesterday, Tuesday? Tuesday morning is when you got it, yeah. So there's that. You guys feel good though so far? All right, well, I'm done. If you want to talk to me about your logo design or anything else, I will hang out here. But for anybody who has other better things to do, like go outside and enjoy 84-degree weather, which is where I'd rather be right now, do that. Go get some vitamin D.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Where's the link that we use to make the videos by Friday for the ad thing?
Okay, let me go to Canvas. Let me hold on a second. Let me log in, and I will show you. So your name doesn't. You don't have a name yet. Yours not up there. Oh, I didn't show anybody's. Hold on. Hold on. They're all still hidden, and my computer still won't start up. Okay, I'm gonna do it this way. I totally drained. Oh, it's back. I don't have to restart it. Shut the front door. Okay. I'm gonna sign off real. I'm plugged in now. I'm gonna sign off real quick here and jump in here so I can share, right? Otherwise, I'm logging in, logging out. You'll see. Actually, I am going to just show you by holding it up. I'm gonna do the old-fashioned show and tell way. It's just quicker. All right, I'm gonna unhide them. They're all hidden. That's the problem. And I'm almost done. I'm almost with the alphabet. I'm going to unhide them all right now. You're Samantha being a walk-off and a W. You're the last one, I think. But I think I have 3 or 4 more to go. And I will sit here and finish them before I leave so that they're up. This is what I was doing right before class, and then I got, so if you refresh your Canvas page, you'll notice there's a link for everybody. One says Alex video crits, one says Murray video crits, et cetera, down the line. If your name is missing, know that I'll get it to you. I'm gonna get that up there here in a moment. I just have to create that little space in that program. Just a little copy, paste, tab thing. Good question though. So hopefully you can all see them, and thank you. I would not have realized that until like what, tomorrow morning? Likely.
So we have to do it for every single person, and we are doing, and we're just critiquing their
the thumbnails, like which one you like.
Okay.
Like, okay, I really like what you did here. I like what you did here. Maybe if you combine the two of them.
Okay. And is this due like by like the end of the day Friday, or like Friday morning, or like
midnight Friday?
Midnight Friday. Okay.
Actually, Saturday afternoon, to be honest with you. I'm not getting up Saturday morning, getting a cup of coffee. Right.
Thank you.
About the real reality of it all, as long as it's done before I look at it. Yeah, I don't get up on Saturday going, I want to look at stuff. I think I want coffee. That's what I think in the morning. Who else can I help? Are we all good?
When do you think you're going to put the recorded classes on Canvas?
Today, I've downloaded all of them. They're all renamed. They just have to be uploaded to YouTube and then a link put in. So they will be done before I go to bed tonight. As God is my witness, they will be up. So you'll have all of the rest of the recordings up. I've just downloaded them all yesterday. Yeah, I'm a little scatterbrained. So I had lost a hard drive. You know where it was? In my sneaking backpack a couple times. They make them so small now that I didn't feel it for like 2 weeks. But I'm caught up now, and I'm not going to get this behind. Cross my heart. Good question. So I will have this, and this class should be posted then later on tonight too.
Okay, sounds good.
Great question. Thank you.
And also real quick, so you said that we can share our screens when we're recording our responses. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yeah. So where it says option, the share screen is one of the options. The first time you click it, it made me go into my permissions and say, Google can take pictures, kind of a thing. And then after I did that, I needed to restart the browser, and then I could do it. But I did test it, and yes, there is a share screen option, absolutely.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Alex. Anybody else? Well, you can go if you want. You don't have to. I'm just here to answer questions. Maria.